opportunity at their Thanksgiving gathering that included the mundane, which is that which is static and rather even flowing, the sacred, that which we have defined as set apart or holy or some way special, or the profane, where it's just anything goes. Now, you don't have to answer that. I just want you to think about what your experience may have been. Often our families or our close friends are a laboratory for us to experience our. And as we experience these practices, the oh my may have shown up as, did they really say that? When are they going to move off of that experience? Who's this is showing up? I don't know this person. Who would be the first to welcome a blended family member this meeting for the first time? And this was an experience within our family. As our family expands and new people join, there were some family members who some of us had not met. And it was a little awkward moment at the beginning. And it's kind of, okay, we're going to do this dance. And who's going to be the first one that's going to break the ice and extend a hand of welcome or extend a hug or whatever? And someone broke the ice. And that was all it took. Everything went well, and we had a really joyful time. The kids played, and I don't know how many kids were there. They were just in and out, having fun, doing what kids do. And so it was a great gathering for us as a family. We can look at our Oh My experiences as a watercolor painting that is unfolding. As we add water to the different colors, they mix and blend and become new colors. I think some artists will nod their heads to that. Allow your imagination, if you will, to create what is called a watercolor of consciousness that contains the swirls of colors, and observe them to become a masterpiece of the mundane, the sacred, and the profane. Allow this to be an oh my experience as you see all of these colors blending together. When we look more deeply at these ideas of the mundane, the sacred, and the profane, we actually find that there is no difference between them. This masterful mix of the various aspects of life we experience serve to remind us of the allness of God. In our Science of Mind textbook on page 26, paragraph 2, Ernest Holmes establishes this as the foundation for our teaching. The study of science of mind is a study of first cause, spirit, mind, or that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff, and intelligence from which all things come. The power back of all creation, the thing itself. And this definition reminds me of something that Reverend Cindy said in our opening treatment this morning, that we have these various names that we attribute to God. And all of them have their own meaning and their own way of living within us. And one of my teachers said early on that we each have this personal connection with God or spirit or with this creative force, whatever it is that we call it. And we're invited to be there with that connection wherever we are. Notice that in inscribing the thing itself, which was one of the names that Holmes attributed to God, the thing itself. Notice that Holmes does not differentiate between the various aspects of our lives, or tell us that only the sacred is the individualization of spirit. Instead, he specified that all of every person is sacred. So we are the totality of our life experiences. In the Declaration of Principles, also known as What We Believe, Ernest Holmes wrote this: "We believe in the incarnation of the Spirit and all, and that all are incarnations of the one Spirit." Again, what Holmes is saying to us is that there are parts of our lives, the mundane, the sacred, and the profane, and all of these must be God. There's a place for every color in the palette, and there's a place for every aspect of our life as God. The experience of Omai is a reminder to embody our oneness with everything. We can no longer categorize our lives into parts and pieces with everything fitting into neat boxes. Even though there are aspects of our lives that do that, it's not the totality of who we are. Recently, I was going through some of the comments on our ministers listserv, and the comments were about the direction that the organization is taking, especially with more specifically or more particular in the area of social activism and the spiritual components of being a spiritual social activist. Some of the ministers wanted to cling to the tradition that we don't engage in that. We don't engage in social activities. We focus only on spirit, and we let spirit direct our lives. And there are others who are more inclusive and are moving to a more inclusive practice of embodying everything as an expression of the divine. The experience of Omai invites us to recognize again that every part of our lives includes those parts we have buried, the things that we may be ashamed of, our past mistakes, hurts, and traumas. It even consists of those aspects of our personalities, our minds, and our bodies that we wish were different. This is all part of the Omai experience. It invites us to recognize that every part of our lives includes those parts that we have buried. When we say God is all there is, it means accepting every part of our lives as our sacred beingness. Embodying oneness means stepping away from the mirror of judgment. When judging others and seeing them as less than God beings, the mirror of judgment shines a light on the parts of ourselves that we have not yet accepted. And so, releasing these things, we bring them into the light. We look at them, we become the observer of our life, and we accept those parts of ourselves that we have historically felt as unlovable. This is the Omai experience that allows us to release the need for judgment and to see it fall away quietly. Because as we begin to love ourselves, as we begin to embody the very essence and the very truth of who we are as individualized expressions of spirit, there's no room to judge anyone else, including ourselves. Of course, there's also the reminder to avoid the ego trap of judging ourselves for judging. You know, we go through a process of, okay, well, I've let this go, or woe is me, I should have known better, I should have done better, or, you know, there was one challenge that our minister in my former community, the senior minister, would often engage in, and that is a rubber band. Each one was given a rubber band on Sunday morning, and then as we go through the week, wherever we messed up, if you will, or based on our own judgment of ourselves, fell short of the mark of the high calling, as the scripture describes it, we were to snap the rubber band, just as a reminder that I am one with God. I am one with God. So, as we release our judgment, we ignite a healing and a growth tool that allows us to be all that we can be. And ultimately, we begin to see God as all things. We are bombarded with distractions in many forms, including social media, games, constant technology at our fingertips and an ever-growing to-do list of things that challenge us to stay present in the world of effect. Just a little side note. I've been wanting to get away and just have a little personal quiet time where I was not obligated under anybody's schedule. And so I said, oh, the New Year's Eve would be a nice time to do this retreat. So I've been searching and searching and searching to find the right place. And yesterday I did find the right place. And as I was booking the reservation, there was a warning that the facility is, their energy source is solar. And so don't bring your electronic gadgets. Don't bring your hair dryers, your portable TVs, or your laptops or whatever. And they intentionally do not have Wi-Fi because they want this to be a time where we really do disconnect. And so I go, this is what I have been looking for. Now we can bring a camera. So I will use my cell phone camera, which does not rely on Wi-Fi, for capturing some of those moments. But it's in these moments where we are bombarded by all of these distractions that it seems like nothing we can do will make a difference on the global scale. This is where we are called to remember our oneness with all that there is. We may not be able to see the perfection that exists, but we can trust that it is there. And this is the key. We may not see it, but we can trust and know that it is there. We show up to the world consciously choosing what is mine to be and to do in every moment. In Living the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes reminds us on page 34, paragraph 1, in Living the Science of Mind. Spirituality is a constant, consistent attempt to feel the presence of God in everything and in everyone. And in our practice of spiritual visioning, one of the key elements is the invitation to feel the energy, to feel the very essence of spirit that is speaking to us through the process of visioning, to tap into that feeling tone. And it is that feeling tone that is the connection and the reminder that the presence of God is always here in me and in everyone. And so what I would leave you with this morning as key takeaway points is to be open to experience the oh my and see how it expands our watercolor palette of consciousness and paint a masterpiece for our own lives. We do this by stepping fully into our consciousness to see the gift that each color brings and watch the water turn all of them into something brand new. So each day, each moment is an opportunity for us to experience a new beginning, a new way of being. Also, seeing the perfection of spirit calls us to a deeper action, fully living the mundane, the sacred, and the profane parts of our lives, blending all of this together into a magnificent oh my experience. It is up to us to find and express these aspects of our lives every day. See the beauty of the sacred in the profane, the shock of the profane in the mundane, and the routine of the mundane in the sacred. And so a call to action or a challenging opportunity that I offer to you this morning is to remember there are opportunities all around us. But in order to see them, we have to have this one thing that very few people possess. And you especially need it when things don't appear to be going your way. This one thing. Because the universe shows that you're not just faking it. And do you know what it is? This one thing that we need, it is unconditional gratitude. Unconditional gratitude. You see, it's easy to be grateful when we're up. But if you can be grateful when you're down, you'll gain access to amazing opportunities that the complainers can't even see. And all you have to do to practice being grateful is to be grateful for the challenging stuff. This is not an opportunity, this is not about ignoring our lived experience. It's about finding a way to be both honest and grateful at the same time. That's the challenge and the opportunity. Unconditional gratitude. And this little piece is from meditation teacher and mindfulness teacher Light Watkins. And so I invite us now to say together our weekly affirmation. Every aspect of life is a sacred expression of spirit. And with that as a backdrop, knowing that we are the sacred expression of life, I invite us to turn within as we join together in our hearts in prayer, knowing that there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is whole, it is perfect, it is complete. It is the life that I am living right here and right now. And it is the life of all beings. It is the life of each one that is gathered here in our beautiful Monterey Center for Spiritual Living, those who are joining us via technology, and those who are gathering and have gathered and will gather in all places where people recognize the oneness of all life. The many names for God, the many names for the thing itself, the many names for this creative intelligence, all express a way to connect with the divine that creates a meaning in our own hearts and in our own lives. And so as we take the time to engage in our spiritual practice, we bring forth and we call forth a deeper meaning to this thing that is called life. We express gratitude and joy and bliss and prosperity and opulence in every area of our lives. And we see that which is divine. We see that which is sacred. We see that which is mundane. We see that which is an oh my experience, knowing that we're all living in close contact with the indwelling God. I bless those who are experiencing the transitions in life. We read daily of individuals, some that are well known and some that are less well known, that are crossing over into the next expression of life, closing the chapter in this part of the book of life and opening a new chapter. And so I bless those families who are experiencing the transition of loved ones, knowing that as we nurtured and cared for them in this life, the welcoming arms of the ancestors who have gone before and have prepared a place for them are now welcoming them and training them into the new expression of this thing that is called life, that has no beginning and has no ending. It is an expression of the continuity of the life of spirit, the life of God. For those who are experiencing transitions in other areas of their lives, I'm knowing that whatever the request is, the answer is yes. The scripture says to make our declarations known. And so we speak our word into the universe, declaring what it is that we desire in life. We let go of any attachment to a specific outcome and give thanks for the manifestation and the demonstration. And so for this and so much more, I am eternally grateful as I release this word back into that law, which always says yes, and I just allow it to be so. And I invite you to affirm this with me as we say together, and so it is. And so it is. And just a reminder, for those who are here in the center, we do have a prayer chest where you may leave a treatment request in the prayer box. For those of you who are viewing online, you may submit a prayer request through our website at montereycsl.org. And you may also reach out to a practitioner and a minister. Our contact information is on our website, and it is also in our weekly newsletter that goes out to the community. And now I invite us to join in the sacred experience of offering, the giving of gifts that have been freely given to us. And we have an offering statement, a statement of abundance that I would like for us to share together now. I recognize the presence of God within as the source of my abundance. Out of my abundance consciousness flows everything I desire in life. With gratitude and thanksgiving, I now participate in the flow of uninterrupted abundance. This prosperous experience is evidence of my abundance consciousness. And so we have the ways to give that are on our screen. I invite you to take advantage of either of these that works for you. And just know that we deeply appreciate it. We deeply appreciate your tithes, your offerings, and your donations of love to support our center, allowing us to take the message of Science Mind out into the world. And invite our virtual family on Facebook and YouTube to join us next week as we begin our December series, which is Living Wholeness. And the title of our talk will be Embracing Wholeness, part 1 of the series. And we invite you to like, to share, and to comment on our service, and share this, helping us to get the message of Science Mind out into the world. And so we say thank you, we love you, and God bless you.